Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to one of the most inspiring and transformative books ever written, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This international bestseller is more than just a story. It's a powerful journey of self-discovery, courage, and following one's dreams. Through the eyes of Santiago, a young shepherd boy from Spain, Coelho takes us on a magical adventure across deserts and distant lands in search of a hidden treasure. But what Santiago finds along the way is far more valuable than gold. It's the wisdom of listening to the heart, reading the signs of the universe, and pursuing one's personal legend. The Alchemist is a reminder that the real treasure lies within each of us, and that when we follow our true path with faith and persistence, the universe conspires to help us succeed. Get ready to be inspired, awakened, and transformed by this timeless tale. Santiago, a young Andalusian shepherd boy, is introduced as someone who enjoys traveling and the simplicity of life. He has chosen the path of a shepherd because it allows him to roam the countryside freely, sleep under the stars, and read books under a tree, all while tending to his sheep. Yet, Santiago is also a dreamer. He has a recurring dream that a child tells him to seek treasure at the base of the Egyptian pyramids. Troubled by the repetition of the dream, he seeks the guidance of a gypsy woman in a nearby town. The woman interprets the dream and tells Santiago that he must go to Egypt, where he will find a hidden treasure. Though skeptical, he is intrigued. Later, Santiago meets an old man named Melchizedek, who claims to be the king of Salem. Melchizedek explains the concept of a personal legend, the idea that everyone has a destiny to fulfill, a true calling in life. He urges Santiago to pursue his dream, saying that when a person really wants something, the whole universe conspires in helping him to achieve it. The king offers Santiago magical stones, Urim and Thummim, to help him interpret omens, and encourages him to sell his flock and journey to Egypt. Santiago, moved by the old man's words and feeling a sense of deeper purpose, sells his sheep and uses the money to set off for Africa. His first stop is in Tangier, where he is quickly robbed of all his money by a cunning thief. Devastated and alone in a foreign land, Santiago nearly gives up on his dream, but he recalls Melchizedek's words and decides to continue moving forward. He finds work with a crystal merchant who teaches him the value of persistence, trust, and vision. Santiago notices that the merchant's shop, though once popular, has lost its appeal because it remained stagnant. He introduces new ideas to improve the shop, such as selling tea in crystal glasses, which helps revive the business. In his time there, Santiago learns that many people are afraid to pursue their dreams because they fear failure or losing what they already have. The merchant himself admits that he always wanted to go to Mecca, but never did because the dream was more powerful than the reality might ever be. Eventually, Santiago earns enough money to continue his journey. He joins a caravan crossing the desert toward Egypt. On the way, he meets an Englishman who is studying to become an alchemist. The Englishman introduces Santiago to the idea of alchemy and the emerald tablet, which contains the secrets of transforming lead into gold, a metaphor for personal transformation. The Englishman is searching for a powerful alchemist who lives at the Al-Fayoum oasis. As the caravan journeys through the harsh desert, Santiago begins to understand the language of the world, which is communicated through omens, signs, and feelings. He learns to observe nature, listen to his heart, and trust in the path laid before him. The caravan eventually reaches Al-Fayoum, where Santiago meets a young woman named Fatima at a well. He instantly falls in love with her and feels a deep spiritual connection. Fatima, being a desert woman, understands the importance of following one's personal legend, and tells Santiago she will wait for him to return after he finds his treasure. This moment marks a significant turning point in Santiago's development as he experiences the conflict between love and destiny. He contemplates staying with Fatima, but he ultimately realizes that true love does not prevent a person from pursuing their dreams. It encourages and supports them. Santiago resumes his search for the treasure, and soon he meets the alchemist the Englishman had been looking for. The alchemist is a wise and mysterious figure who teaches Santiago about the soul of the world, a spiritual force that binds all things together. He explains that the true alchemist is someone who can understand the language of the universe, who has discovered his true self, and who has become one with nature. The alchemist guides Santiago deeper into the desert, testing his courage, faith, and wisdom along the way. He challenges Santiago to turn himself into the wind to avoid being killed by tribal warriors. Though initially frightened and doubtful, Santiago eventually succeeds by communicating with the desert, the wind, the sun, and finally the soul of the world. This experience proves that Santiago has reached a high level of spiritual understanding and personal power. After this profound encounter, Santiago continues on to the pyramids. He is filled with excitement, sure that the treasure is near. He digs at the base of the pyramids but finds nothing. Suddenly, he is attacked by robbers. One of the men tells Santiago that he too had a dream of treasure buried beneath a tree in Spain, but he was not foolish enough to chase it. Santiago realizes that the treasure he had been seeking all along is back in the place where his journey began, under the sycamore tree in the abandoned church where he used to sleep with his sheep. This revelation completes his journey and ties together the story's central message. Santiago returns to Spain and finds the treasure exactly where the robber described. It is a chest of gold, jewels, and artifacts, physical proof of his journey's reward. Yet the true treasure is not merely material wealth, but the journey itself. The people he met, the wisdom he gained, the love he discovered, and the transformation he underwent. Santiago's pursuit of his personal legend led him on a journey of self-discovery, spiritual awakening, and ultimate fulfillment. Throughout the novel, Paulo Coelho explores themes of destiny, faith, love, transformation, and the interconnectedness of all things. Santiago's story illustrates that pursuing one's dream requires courage, patience, and trust in the process. Each obstacle he faces, from being robbed to falling in love to facing death in the desert, serves as a test that refines his character and deepens his understanding of the world. The alchemist's lessons about listening to the heart, reading the omens, and understanding the soul of the world emphasize that the answers we seek externally are often found within. The novel encourages readers to listen to their intuition, to remain open to change, and to believe in the possibility that the universe is guiding them toward their higher purpose. The alchemist also touches on the idea that fear is a greater obstacle than the obstacle itself. Santiago learns that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and that by confronting and moving through fear, one becomes stronger and more aligned with their true path. This idea resonates through the characters he encounters. The crystal merchant afraid to chase his dream, the Englishman stuck in intellectual pursuits without real transformation, and even Fatima, who teaches that true love is not possessive but freeing. Santiago's journey is one of inner evolution. At first, he is just a boy with a dream, but through trials, relationships, and teachings, he becomes a man of deep insight and spiritual connection. The treasure serves as a symbol of the fulfillment that comes when we dare to follow our hearts. Paulo Coelho weaves a narrative that is at once simple and profound. He uses parables, symbols, and mystical elements to drive home universal truths. The desert becomes a metaphor for the spiritual journey, vast, lonely, difficult, but also filled with beauty and wisdom. The alchemist represents the higher self or spiritual mentor who appears when the student is ready. The story shows that each person's journey is unique, but the principles of transformation and realization are universal. Santiago's experiences teach us that the journey itself, with all its detours, disappointments, and joys, is what enriches the soul and leads to true treasure. In the end, Santiago's return to the place where his journey began is symbolic of the idea that we often seek externally what has always existed within us. The dream was the catalyst, but the transformation was the goal. The story affirms that the pursuit of a personal legend is the noblest path a person can take, and that by doing so, they not only fulfill their own destiny, but contribute to the harmony of the world. Santiago's realization that the treasure was always close, yet required the journey to be truly understood and appreciated, underscores one of life's great paradoxes, that in seeking outwardly, we often find ourselves inwardly. The Alchemist is a timeless tale that continues to inspire readers to awaken to their purpose, embrace their journey, and believe in the magic of their dreams. Summary and main theme of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho is a timeless tale about destiny, dreams, and self-discovery. It follows the journey of Santiago, a young shepherd from Andalusia, Spain, who dreams of finding treasure near the Egyptian pyramids. Driven by this recurring dream and the encouragement of a mysterious old king named Melchizedek, Santiago sets out on a quest to fulfill his personal legend, the deep inner purpose each person is meant to pursue in life. His journey begins with loss as he is robbed shortly after arriving in Tangier. Struggling in a foreign land, Santiago works at a crystal shop where he learns the importance of perseverance, patience, and taking risks to grow. With newfound determination, he joins a desert caravan heading toward Egypt, meeting an Englishman who introduces him to the world of alchemy and the idea of spiritual transformation. Along the way, Santiago reaches the oasis of Al-Fayoum, where he falls in love with a young woman named Fatima. Despite the temptation to stay, he chooses to continue his journey, believing that true love never stands in the way of one's destiny. He also meets a wise alchemist who teaches him about the soul of the world, the importance of listening to his heart, and how fear often keeps people from achieving their dreams. In the climax, Santiago proves his spiritual maturity by turning himself into the wind to save his life. Ultimately, when he reaches the pyramids, he is robbed again, only to discover through a thief's words that the treasure he sought was buried all along at the starting point of his journey, under a sycamore tree in Spain. The main theme of the novel is the pursuit of one's personal legend, the unique purpose that each person is meant to fulfill. Coelho emphasizes that when we truly desire something, the universe works in mysterious ways to help us achieve it. This journey is not just about reaching a destination, but about the growth, learning, and spiritual awakening that occur along the way. The book also explores themes such as fear versus faith, the power of love, the language of the universe, and the idea that the greatest treasures in life are often found within ourselves. Santiago's journey teaches that setbacks, failures, and detours are part of the process that shapes and prepares us for our destiny. From The Alchemist, we extract profound lessons. Follow your dreams with courage, trust your heart, embrace the journey with patience, and never let fear paralyze you. We learn that life's real treasure is not just material wealth, but the wisdom and transformation we gain in the pursuit of something meaningful. It encourages us to believe that the universe rewards those who are brave enough to listen to their souls and act on what they hear.